It's Golf Pro Drive-In Express. Yes, Express, where I get some questions every once in a while from my Golf Pro Drive-In, and I'm going to try to answer those questions in as little as 3 minutes or less, if possible, to give y'all some good feedback on whatever questions you might throw my way, and I'll post these as quickly as I can get to them throughout the week. So, as usual, driving into work, got a little bit of time on my hands to answer a question, and the question revolves around, should I play a 5-iron, a 5 hybrid, or like a 7-wood or a 9-wood? It's a great question, and I would say that depending on what your club head speed and ball speed, whatever those numbers are, is going to really dictate which club you should use, in addition to some other elements. First and foremost, keep this in mind. If we're hitting any iron, or a hybrid for that matter, those clubs are approach clubs, meaning you're going to be hitting those clubs into the green. The first thing you have to be able to do is hold a green with those clubs, which means you've got to have enough height, a high enough trajectory that when the ball descends and it comes down, it's landing at an angle, a descent angle of between 45 and 55 degrees. Ideally, you'd be close to that 50-degree mark, which is where most PGA Tour players are. So you need a good descent angle. That's going to allow the ball to hold the green when it lands, if it doesn't have a ton of spin. So that's of the utmost importance. If you're not hitting the golf ball high enough, you're not going to get a descent angle coming down that is a high enough degree angle. So that's the first thing. Look at that first. If you're hitting a 5-iron low, and a lot of people think that their ball flight is high enough and it's still way too low, I can just tell you that from doing tons of fittings and tons of lessons. But if your ball flight is low and it's producing a descent angle under 45 degrees, then we've got to look to get the ball higher. The 5-iron is not going to do it. So the next thing we're going to try is going to be a hybrid. The hybrid should give you a higher ball flight, which in return should give you a better angle of descent. And if that's not doing it, then you would start looking at a 7-wood or even a 9-wood. 7-wood is generally about 21 degrees, 21, 22 degrees of loft, whereas a 9-wood's going to be 23, 24, which is about the same loft you're going to see in most modern day 5-irons. So that's how that's the first thing you're going to figure out, is we've got to get the descent angle on our approach shot at least to 45 degrees, closer to 50 as possible. The last thing I would harp on is ball speed. You need about 5 mile per hour ball speed in between each club to give you enough separation and distance. If it's less than 5 miles per hour, you're going to have less than a 10-yard gap in between clubs, and then I would argue, hey, you probably don't need this club to begin with, and you're always going to go to whichever club's going to give you the highest ball flight, which is going to allow the ball to stop on the green better. So let's just say you have 125 mile an hour ball speed with your 6-iron, then you must have 130 mile an hour ball speed with your 5-iron. If you're hitting 5-iron and your ball speed is only 2 miles an hour faster than your 6, jump up to the hybrid. Hit the 5 hybrid. If your 5 hybrid, hopefully it'll bridge that gap and put you at 130. But if it doesn't, go and get a 7-wood or a 9-wood. That should make up the difference and give you that 5 mile an hour ball speed difference, which is going to equate between 10 to 12 yards in carry distance. That's how you determine also which club is going to be better for you, in addition to the height. So if you get fit, pay strong attention to those numbers in terms of Your ball speed gapping, make sure there's 5 mile an hour ball speed in between each one. And any club that you'd be hitting the majority of your shots into the green as approach shots, you must be sure that you have a landing, a descent angle somewhere close to 50 degrees, between 45 and 55. Wedges are going to be more on the 55 side of things. And as you get down into your long irons, you need at least 45-degree descent angle to ensure that that ball is going to be able to hold a green. So use that next time you're out. If you need to get fit, I strongly recommend you do it outside so you can actually see ball flight and you can get good, accurate readings. There's going to be more on this coming later on this week with the full length of Golf Pro Drive-In. So hope that information helps. We'll see you at the end of the week.
It's a Golf Pro Drive.